What's going on? It's Fight Season MMA, and today I want to talk about possible fight matchups for Conor McGregor after a possible win at UFC 303 versus Michael Chandler. Okay, first off, I want to start off by saying that I truly think that Michael Chandler is going to beat Conor McGregor, but I think the pathway for Conor McGregor to win, with all the different options that he has after UFC 303, are truly amazing, and that's what I want to break down today. So first, I want to break down into three different types of people he could fight. First, I want to start off with the welterweight title after beating Michael Chandler at UFC 303. I think a fight with him versus Leon Edwards, who I'm just going to assume beats Bilal Muhammad right now, is a very interesting fight for UFC, possibly NYC at UFC 309. I know possibly John Jones could be announced for that card pretty soon. It could be something in Vegas. It could be something in Abu Dhabi, possibly. I know Leon Edwards has an interest in fighting there. Or this could even be a card later in Ireland early next year. Now, I think that this is a very interesting fight for Conor McGregor, where he could be able to defeat Leon Edwards in a very exciting striking battle. I know Leon Edwards is not the most exciting fighter, but I do think this would be a very exciting clash in styles, with Conor McGregor being a very pinpoint accurate striker, with Leon Edwards being that point fighter that you see. Now, I do think that this fight would be very hard for Conor McGregor to win for the sheer size advantage of Leon Edwards. I know Conor McGregor has the bulk now, but I also think that bulk is going to bring problems like his cardio. Unlike Leon Edwards, who has been tested at 170 pounds, we know he hasn't been on steroids. We don't know how we know he's looked great in the octagon, especially versus Colby Covington and Usman 3, where in both of those fights he took control of the octagon and he truly looked fantastic in those performances. In Conor McGregor, there's a lot of question marks going into this fight with Michael Chandler. Now, the second option with Conor McGregor is a possible BMF fight with Max Holloway, and now a lot of people could be saying, how could this fight happen? Conor's now fighting at 170. I think Max Holloway doesn't care at all what weight class he fights. If you told Max Holloway to go fight Alex Pereira for the light heavyweight strap, I think Max Holloway would go do it. He's just that much of a BMF in his standpoint of going and fighting every single person to prove that he is the BMF in the UFC. I think this fight, especially since it's a rematch and Max Holloway's calling for it, I think would be such a massive fight, considering the way UFC 300 went out, with Max Holloway sleeping Justin Gaethje with 1 second left in the fight, and probably the greatest knockout in UFC history. Now, truly, this is a very interesting fight. With, you got two strikers, you got the cardio man, Max Holloway, and if this was at 170, Max Holloway would have, you thought Max Holloway had cardio before, he wouldn't be cutting any weight, his chin would be greater than ever before, considering he has the greatest chin in all of UFC, up there with Cheeto Vera. This would be one of the greatest fights I think you could put on for Conor McGregor. It would not only be so exciting, but you would not only have a motivated Conor McGregor to go get that BMF belt, but a motivated Max Holloway to get that win back. Now, lastly, I got Charles Oliveira fighting Conor McGregor at 170 pounds. If Conor McGregor wins or loses the fight versus Michael Chandler, I think that this fight is a main event on a pay-per-view card, and this would do numbers with Charles Oliveira coming up to welterweight, which I know he's been hinting at. I know he's been hinting at possibly fighting Colby Covington, and that's a fight that Colby Covington wants, but knowing Colby Covington, I really don't want him to fight Charles Oliveira since he hasn't fought anyone else. I really thought he should have took the fight with Ian Gary, since he said all the stuff he said about Ian Gary's wife and all of that, but truly, Colby Covington has a big game and talk and and no actions at all to follow it up. So I think Charles Oliveira getting the shot at welterweight with Conor McGregor, win or lose versus Michael Chandler, depending on if he needs an extra fight, if he wins prior to getting the title shot, or if he loses and you want to throw him an up-and-coming contender at welterweight. I think this fight would be stupendous. You look at Conor McGregor and Charles Oliveira, there's no way this fight goes the distance for 5 rounds, which I'm assuming it'd be a main event. There's no way this goes the distance. I'm assuming one of these people gets, Conor McGregor either gets choked out in round one, or Charles Oliveira gets knocked out in round 1, and just because of their styles clashing, this would be one of the most exciting fights to make in the UFC. I thank you guys so much for tuning into this video about Conor's possible options after UFC 303. I do think Conor McGregor is going to lose from versus Michael Chandler due to that ring rust, but you never know. And if Conor McGregor wins, the entire UFC organization is right there at his fingertips. Thank you guys so much for watching, tuning into the videos. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon.